Welcome to Foundations TV, everybody. Our guest today is Sharayu Mahale. Welcome to the studio, Sharayu.
Thank you.
So Sharayu is, as I know of her, it's a whole lot of talent that she possesses within herself. She is a gifted child, of course. And she's obviously very beautifully bundled together. So we want to showcase her talent. We want to talk about her talents, all her talents today. And the first one I would like to start off with is dancing. I know that is very close to your heart.
Yes.
So why don't we start off with dancing? Why don't you share your journey as a dancer with our viewers today?
Okay, so I started dancing at the age of, I think, 5 or 6, and under the tutelage of Jayashree Rajamani. She's a Bharatanatyam teacher based in Lexington. And I've been dancing with her since I was 5, and in 2009 I had my Arangetram. I've also grew up doing a lot of Bollywood dancing, so through the Marathi Mandar and through IAGB I had multiple opportunities to perform and teach as well. And most recently, when I came to college in 2012, I joined NYU Nasha, which is an all-girls fusion dance team. And here I was kind of exposed to a lot of different styles other than Bollywood and Bharatanatyam. So I was influenced by a lot of Western styles like contemporary, hip-hop. And so a lot of my choreography and a lot of my videos nowadays have influences from my dance team.
So you choreograph for Nasha as well?
So Nasha is very horizontally structured in the sense that we do a lot of things unanimously, meaning we vote on things unanimously, we choreograph unanimously, meaning together.
Sure.
So
how big is the group?
Roughly 13 to 14 girls. It changes every year as we lose seniors and gain freshmen.
Okay, and how often do you perform? Do you perform like outside the university as well?
Yes, so there is an entire intercollegiate circuit of dance teams that compete often. So I think the spring semester we usually have between 3 to 5 performances. And based on how we do in those performances, we can, advance on to more competitions. So yeah.
So I'm a little intrigued, being a Bharatanatyam dancer and now moving more towards hip hop and Bollywood style dancing. What do you think your strength is, having that base, and do you feel that you have that strength, some sort of benefit?
Yes, definitely. Without Bharatanatyam, I don't think I would be able to perform as well as I do, or even venture into other dance styles as successfully. Because I think it's important to know that like classical dance styles, as with anything classical, like singing or music, it's the foundation. So things like you learn like posture or your expressive abilities, that is all, for me, is rooted in Bharatanatyam. And I found that Bharatanatyam is a stepping stone to learning a lot of other different styles of dance. So I definitely value and respect everything that I've learned in Bharatanatyam, and it's very applicable. I think that has been those are very transferable skills.
Okay, all right. Now, you are also a martial artist, am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now tell us, what role has that played into development of your personality?
So I would say, so I've been training Taekwondo since I was in 7th grade. I got my black belt when I was in 11th grade, towards the end of 12th grade. And I think that Taekwondo was essential for me in those years growing up in sort of giving me a sense of self-esteem and confidence. I think at my school I was one of very few girls, and so it really gave me a lot of confidence being able to fend for myself physically, and I think it also developed me, it gave me a lot of emotional and mental strength as well. So I think for me, a lot of my self-esteem, like Taekwondo helped build that.
So, of course, one thing is, of course, getting the belts, which you did go all the way up to the black belt, right? And on the other hand, in parallel, you were also competing at various levels?
Yes. So in 2008, I went to nationals, and then again in 2010 and 2011. So I was competing a lot during my high school years. It's been a little bit on the back burner since I got to college, where I gave dance more priority. But I am definitely going to get back into it. That's my New Year's resolution, is to compete this year at a college level.
Now, is that what drove you to becoming a traveler? Recently, we heard that you were all over the world. So now tell us what was the initiating factor for this
traveling.
whole travel? Yes.
Yes.
I'm very, very interested.
So I went to a lot of different nations, and I think initially it was, for me, I was at the end of my 10th grade, sophomore year, of college. And I was at that point where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do professionally. And I always kind of knew that I wanted to be in the entertainment business sort of line. But I think it was important for me to go and see the different demographics that were up and coming for this field. So in China and India, I know that's where the highest growth rate is happening for the entertainment industry, at least for American content. So I thought that it would be important for me to know and learn about those. So I spent the summer, half the summer in India, working at Viacom 18, which is the company that owns Paramount Pictures, MTV. And I wanted to learn about the Indian demographic. And then I went to China for a semester. And when I was in China, I really wanted to learn about the Chinese demographic and see how censorship plays into the entertainment industry and learn more about that, so that when I came back and was recruiting for American mainstream cinema, that I would have information or knowledge about these two nations, and that would set me apart from the other candidates.
So was this part of your studying that you're doing currently?
Yes. So I started off the summer in London, where I took some classes on producing. And then I did some pleasure traveling. Then I was interning in India. That was more on my own. That was more for my own professional purposes. And then I spent a semester in China, which was once again through NYU as well.
And what other countries did you visit?
So in between London and India, I visited Israel and I visited France. And then at the end of the semester, right before I came back to Boston, I visited Thailand. So I did Bangkok and Phuket.
Wonderful. Now, out of all these 7, I think you mentioned, right, about 7 countries, professionally, with the aim that you went with, right, you probably got more from one country than the other. So I want to hear about that, and I also want to hear your personal preference. So which country did you really enjoy traveling in the most?
Professionally, I think I had more hands-on experience when I was working in India, because I was working with an entertainment company. So I think I learned a lot in terms of like the consumer demographics and how marketing is sort of transforming in India. For example, how social media is just on the rise, or how different trends like vampire TV shows, which were popular in the US maybe 4 or 5 years ago, are now becoming popular in India. So it was interesting to see the trends and learn about that. So I think from that perspective, I gained more professionally in India. But it was also important in China to sort of learn. I learned the language while I was there, and I learned a lot about the customs and the culture there. And I think some of these nuances are something that you won't get unless you physically go there. So, for example, in China, the new money that's coming into the system, because they don't have as much opportunity to invest in the stock market, or they can't invest in land because of the communist government. China often has, like a lot of Chinese people, new money at least is being invested in art or other fields like that. So it was interesting to see that people are now placing higher value on brands and luxury items like this, whereas in the US, while that's still there, it's not as prominent or as flashy as it is in China. So I think personally, which place did I like more?
Tough one, huh?
That is a tough one.
All of them.
I think I could genuinely see myself settling in any one of these places. I think that what I learned abroad was that life is a constant stream of adapting. And I think that the more things you have to adapt to, that's what makes life more fun. So I think that if I got a great job offer in Shanghai, I would be down to move there. So, but even still, I would say my favorite place so far was Shanghai, only because I think I went in there with very different expectations. I thought it was going to be very similar to India. But when I got there and I just saw the people and how it's organized and how it's so clean and so many different things, my perception of it was changed completely. And I think that was a very valuable lesson.
Wonderful. Now, just talking to you for a few minutes, I can tell that you have an element of adventure within yourself. You love it, don't you?
Yes.
So, but even before, even with your core personality of being an adventurous person, but before you stepped out of home, home as in USA,
Yes.
you know. Were you a little hesitant? Did you have any apprehensions in your mind?
To be honest, I was really excited. I think I was never exactly afraid. I think I was always just eager. I made sure that when I was going to Shanghai that I didn't go with any friends, that I didn't go with any people that I knew ahead of time, because I really wanted this process to be sort of like a rediscovering, sort of like a transformational process. So I think since I went in with that mindset, the whole process was changed, and I think it was less daunting, and it was more, I guess, I embraced it more, I guess.
Great. How long have you dreamt about this?
To be honest, everything sort of happened very quickly. I was supposed to intern in London, but because of visa issues and all, that didn't work out. So I wound up, spur of the moment, you know, applying for a couple of things and talking to a few people, and then my internship in India worked out. So, you know, eventually I was going to be in London for the whole summer, and then China, and maybe I was going to come back in between. But everything sort of just went very seamlessly. You know, I got the internship in India, and then I said I had a week in between to travel, so I visited Israel, and I visited Paris, and
it just happened.
It just
very
sort of happened.
spontaneously. Okay. And how about family? How did your family respond to all this before and after?
Since I'm an only child, I think my parents missed me quite a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
And of course, I missed them too.
Yes.
Around Diwali time, they were going to visit India. So when they were in India, they also came and visited me for a few days.
Wonderful.
Yes, so I did get to see them, which was very nice.
Excellent.
And I do have family in India, though I don't have any in Mumbai. So this was the first time I was living by myself in India. So I did see them, you know, every other weekend.
Right.
I visited back.
Right. All right, wonderful, wonderful. So I can see you feel a little more mature with all these experiences, and excellent, excellent. So I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who have dreams and who want to make their dreams come true. So what do you have to say to them as a last note?
As a last note, I'm still in the pursuit of my own dreams. I'm just a college student. I'm still figuring out what I want to do, really. But I think the important thing is that, you know, have a goal in mind and just go with it. And everything happens for a reason, and all of the dots will connect later on.
Beautiful, beautiful. Very well said, Sharayu. Very well said. One last question. What is your goal in life?
What is my goal in life? Wow. So for the short term, I want to be working in, you know, the entertainment business. So I want to be doing movie marketing. So 5 years from now, I see myself, you know, working at, you know, maybe one of the big 6 companies. 10 years from now, though, I think I really want to open up my own production house. I do want to have a lot of hands-on and input in the content creation process. So I really do want to go into producing eventually.
Wonderful, and we wish you all the best for that.
Thank you.